Having finished his UFC career with a 22-3 record, Daniel Cormier has shared his two biggest regrets. Cormier gave up fighting in 2020 after losing to Miocic twice in a row. Looking back, he regrets not retiring a little sooner. Cormier had an 11-3 record while competing for the Ultimate Fighting Championship over the course of 7 years. He won the vacant light heavyweight championship at UFC 187 in 2015 by rear naked choking Anthony Johnson to sleep in the third round. By defeating Volkan Oezdemir, Anthony Johnson, and Alexander Gustafsson, Cormier was able to successfully defend the championship 3 times. Cormier discussed his professional regrets during a fan Q&A session at UFC 285 on Saturday. "I probably would have retired after I beat Miocic the first time or beat Derek Lewis, just to be done. Because I threw my back out and I just wasn't as good. Also, I might not have thrown that kick against Frank Mir. You remember that kick I tried to do? When I jumped and tried to kick you. I might have not done that in the octagon because people still make fun of me about jumping trying to kick Frank. They called me the Kung Fu Panda." Francis Ngannou, a former UFC heavyweight champion who left the organization earlier this year after a protracted contract dispute, provided his opinion on Jon Jones' hurried approach at UFC 285. Francis, although pursuing other opportunities, continues to pay careful attention to the division over which he formerly ruled, and he was impressed with Jones' performance against Cyril Gane. He also gave thought to the potential that if he hadn't quickly earned a submission, Jones would not have survived the battle for very long. Ngannou recently shared a video on his YouTube channel where he discussed the main event and Jones' victory. "I knew that if Jon Jones shows up in a good space mentally, not like his last 2 fights, he's going to prevail in this fight, but I didn't see this fight going this short. I think this fight could have been longer. I was surprised the way that the fight ended. And I think even seeing Cyril's reaction, he was surprised as well because he wasn't even defending. He wasn't thinking that a submission could come from where he was. That was quite a great performance from Jones, not very surprising, because I knew that if I could out-wrestle Cyril, Jon would be another story. He would have a hard night if Jon could lay in on him, but what I did notice is that Jon was rushing. Jon didn't want to give him space, because I think he was afraid of something." In a recent Twitter exchange with Paulo Costa, Strickland was direct in his critique of Luke Rockhold's performance, and gave the former UFC champion a harsh review. On the social media platform, the two fighters have been exchanging arguments over a potential match in the octagon. First Strickland tweet: "Paulo Costa is becoming the Dylan Dennis of UFC." In response, Paulo Costa suggested that the UFC's top executive had informed him that Strickland was not interested in fighting him. Using the opportunity, Strickland disparaged former middleweight champion Luke Rockhold, and tweeted this: "Man, I'd fight you in the cage for money and I'd fight you in the parking lot for free. Luke gave you a hard fight. He doesn't even qualify as a training partner for me." Stephen Thompson and Shavkat Rakhmonov engaged in gunfire after winning UFC 285. Nomad defeated Jeff Neal via submission in the third round. And he called out Colby Covington, the number 2 ranked welterweight contender. Rakhmonov now seems to be aiming for more than one opponent in the top 10 in the welterweight class. Stephen Thompson's remarks that he didn't want to face grapplers prompted Shavkat to tweet, "Who's grappler now?" In response, Thompson maintained his position on the subject while praising Rakhmonov's UFC 285 performance. "All due respect to you and your great performance, but 0-4 on takedowns doesn't make you not a grappler. Congrats on your victory. Let's not forget you won by submission. But much love." Do you think there's a chance that Shavkat Rakhmonov and Stephen Thompson will square off soon? Share your thoughts on comments section below. Thanks for watching. If you're a fan of MMA, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you never miss an update. Also leave a comment below with your thoughts on today's news. Keep supporting the sport, and we'll see you in the next one.